And we have some international breaking news coming in. Another blow to Sikh for justice and Australian Khalistanis. The Khalistan Referendum Plan for Sydney Masonic Centre on 4th June this year has been cancelled. So this is a big blow to Sikh for justice and Khalistanis in Australia, as the Khalistan Referendum planned for Sydney Masonic Centre on 4th June has now been cancelled. So big blow for Sikh for justice and Australian Khalistanis, as the Khalistan Referendum Plan for Sydney Masonic Centre on 4th of June has now been cancelled. CNN News 18, Siddhant is joining us to tell us more about it. Siddhant, can you give us more details about this referendum, the Khalistan referendum that has been now cancelled in Australia?
Well, that's right. So the entire idea about this referendum used to be to display, show off its strength, that so many people are coming together for the cause of Khalistan. Now, post the event of Prime Minister, everybody saw the number of people gathered there to listen to the Prime Minister Modi, and this is perhaps one of the reasons that this entire movement in Australia is losing pace and is losing direction now, and it has again been proved. It has again been proven since this event, which was going to take place on 4th of June, referendum event has been cancelled. We don't know the reason, but we've also been told that now the authorities in Australia and perhaps even the private players are not ready to lease out their places to these groups for events, because they have understood that ultimately these people are going to become trouble for their own citizens. And, Australia has understood it very well. In fact, when Prime Minister Anthony Albanese came to India on a state visit, Prime Minister Modi did raise the issue of temple attack in Australia. This time around again, post the bilateral meeting between the two leaders, the issue of temple attack was discussed in the bilateral meeting. And in fact, Prime Minister Modi did speak during the press briefing that he has been assured by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese that action would be taken on such groups, and there would not be any incident of temple attack or any incident related to separatist movement. And this is perhaps the reason that it looks like that now Australia is delivering on the promise that Australia has made to India, because Australia understands the relevance, the importance of India, and Australia also understands that these are some fringe groups, those who try to create trouble, those who try to create a movement in using Australian soil. And it looks like that Australia is not going to allow any such referendum again in their country.
Also, Siddhant, as per reports, there were numerous complaints about threats posed by this event. Can you tell us more?
Absolutely. So each time around, there has been several threats. In fact, many of the people associated with these groups are absconding. They are on a run. The police force in Australia is looking out for them. They have already been accused of vandalizing Hindu temples. So even the Australian authorities have understood that how, what kind of people they are and why this politically motivated, baseless event is being organized. So Australian authorities have understood it very well. Also, this time around, they used to do it under the garb of free speech, under the garb of democracy, that they want to raise some issue. And because of which only the Australian authorities used to allow them or maybe not to object to what they're doing. But after India flagging it off to them, and also India explaining it to them the importance, the significance of it and how it could trouble their own people in a near future, the entire movement has lost, the separatist movement has lost the pace and direction in Australia. And we've also been told that the other events, or maybe the other referendum events that have been planned by them, are also going to get cancelled, because the kind of aggression that these groups have been showing are not going to be tolerated by the authorities in Australia. Because post the visit of Prime Minister, in fact, the opposition party and the party in power, Anthony Albanese party, they all have come on board with regards to the aggression of these Khalistani groups. And there's zero tolerance policy which Australia is going to adopt for these groups, because ultimately Australia calls itself India's friend, and it's Australia's duty to deliver India as far as this particular issue is concerned. Back to you.
All right, Siddhant, thank you for giving us that context on this story. Now,